Let's look at the question, can whether anyone can be held accountable for someone else's ideology or be punished for religious rules he is not associated with nor support. For the purpose of the death or murder of Miss Deborah Samuel Jacobo by Islamic fundamentalists, the answer to the above question is in a negative, and we will demonstrate this with a case law that is particularly refers to Sharia tenet. The legal answers will start with the case of Kaza versus the state, 2008, has treated this particular question, the Nigerian Appellate Court in particular. The case of Kaza versus the state 2008 is reported in Nigerian Weekly Law Report 2008, 7 Nigerian Weekly Law Report, part 1085, page 125. If you're someone that reads widely, you can have access to the Nigerian Weekly Law Report and read it. A law report is not, there's no restriction to lawyers or to non-lawyers. Anyone can read law report. In that case, the following questions of law were answered. On punishment for insult against Holy Prophet Muhammad under Sharia. Under Sharia, the court answered that under Sharia, any sin an adult Muslim who insult, defames, or utter words or does acts which are capable of bringing to disrepute, odium, or contempt the person of the Prophet Muhammad, SAW. Such a person has committed a serious crime which is punishable by death. However, Islamic law has not left the killing open in the hands of the private individuals. The offense alleged has to be established through evidence before a court of law. The court itself will have to employ its professional dexterity in treating the case by allowing fair hearing and excluding all the inadmissible evidence of those persons who may fall within the general exemption clause, such as infant, imbecile, or those who suffer mental delusion. The law will have to set a dangerous precedent if individuals were authorized to take the law into their hands, as the appellant, and others in that case did. Another question was about things that are illegal to Muslims. The court enumerated 3 things that are illegal to Muslims. That is to spill the blood of another person, or deprive him of his life, to deprive him of his property, to deprive him of his honor and dignity. The lead judge in that case specifically said, I cannot see how this kind of people shall have any respite by the law. What is good for the goose is good for the gander. Life is precious to all and sundry. He who kills by the sword shall die by the sword. I have no sympathy for the banishment of such busybodies who respect no human life due to their high degree of misapprehension of the law, or shall I say complete ignorance of the law. The appellant failed to convince me through his explanation, but he is free to make further and better explanation to the young man, though belatedly it might be. Another question the court also raised on that issue, answered in that issue, was whether Islamic criminal law allows for jungle justice. The court answered that Islamic religion is not a primitive religion that allows its adherents to the law into their hands and to commit jungle justice. Instead, there is a judicial system in Islam which hears and determines cases, including the trial of offenses, and anybody accused of committing an offense against the religion or against a fellow Muslim brother should be taken to the court, either a Sharia court or a secular common law court, for adjudication. It is only when a person is convicted and sentenced by a court that he will be liable to a punishment which will be carried out by an appropriate authority, that is the prison, Although it is true that there is the provision in Risala which prescribes the punishment of death or none on any Muslim who insult the Holy Prophet Muhammad, such punishment can only be imposed by the appropriate authority, the court, rather than by any member of the society, whether a Muslim or otherwise. What I find interesting, and you may also find interesting, in the case of Gaza versus the state is that an essential ingredient of offense of blasphemy under the Sharia law is that the offense of blasphemy must be committed by a Muslim, not a non-Muslim, because the tenets and rules of a particular sect does not bind a person who is not a believer in it. In a secular state which is not based on theocracy, that is state legal system based on religious law that compels everyone to live by such a law, no one has a right to take or attack or kill a fellow human being who disagree or disparage the ethics and belief of which is not part of it. No one has a right to condemn other people's beliefs or disbelief. Both belief and disbelief are right inherent in humans. Thank you very much.